Welcome on board Sanjay Kulshreshtha, the CMD at HUDCO, joining in the show right now. Sanjay, great to have you on ET now, and thank you for patiently waiting by. But Sanjay, as you have reopened lending to private sector now in 5 segments: ports, airports, roads, energy, real estate. Tell me, what are the early demand trends that you're seeing in these sectors, and which sectors do you think will be leading the growth from here?
I think this is an era of infrastructure, and as we have seen that Nifty has grown year high, and HUDCO is a company which is looking at the demand and as well as the supply. So we take loan from the banks and we extend these lending towards infrastructure. So now, since we had started this private sector on a very sensible platform, so I think roads, airport, port, and the way government of India has came out with the very proactive policies. I think these are the sectors where a lot of traction, and because as we all know that our honorable Prime Minister says that transportation is the new transformation. So we are into the transformation era. And that's why we had started these kind of infrastructural assets. Apart from that, the real estate is continuously growing, and I'm very hopeful that it will keep on growing like this. And the energy is a segment where we had started in the energy transition, and we have a target of 500 gigawatt and associated infrastructure. So since the policy, infrastructure, and the legislation is in place, so that's why we had started this private sector lending.
But Sanjay, just sort of pulling back a little bit, and from a very, macro perch that you have on the economy per se, given that the government's focus of late is purely getting back to putting more money in the hands of consumers and getting a filling up to consumption, do you sense that that could lead to a capex slowdown? And if that were the case, all these sectors that we've just talked about will also ease off then?
So I think from last 3 years, we are very clear that there is a focus of the government of India towards the capital infusion, and we have seen the general budgets also. And I am very hopeful that the story will continue further. If you see, there is a lot of urbanization is going on in our country, and the speed is very high. So we are all known of this fact, and that's why a lot of capital infusion is required. And with this perspective, government has came out with the Urban Challenge Fund. Also, Honorable Finance Minister in the last budget has announced this fund. And apart from this, government of initiatives, government of India is also inviting the private player to become the equal contributor in the creation. Then the FDI is also open. So I don't think that the GST or the consumer market will affect any inflow of the capital infusion, and rather it will be accelerated from now.
No, I was just talking about, given the government's shift in focus, is that going to impact things on ground, out of capex into consumption?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Looking at the macro perspective, I am very hopeful that it will not change the macroeconomics.
Added private sector to your loan book. Do you think that this will help you to get that target of 25 to 30% loan growth that you are looking at?
I think I am very hopeful with the state sector funding only that we are achieving. From last 2 years, we are achieving between 25 to 30, and the story will continue. So it is a positioning that we are also there to contribute in the private sector growth, and we will be very selective, and we will be selecting right entities and the right project which are backed by good concessionary agreements or revenue cash flows backed by the regulatory arrangements. So initial contribution from the private sector, I am not looking at so high, because states have ample appetite for absorption. Every state is coming with the story of the Viksit state or the Swarnim states that we are working upon. So we will be having that traction of 25 to 30% with the state sector only, with the additional icing from the private sector as well.
And because you are entering into real estate as well, is there a risk that's going to come in as well? Means with respect to, if there is a issue with respect to payments and other stuff, because private sector traditionally has been, there has been issues with lending to private sector real estate.
Yeah, initially, yes. Pre-RERA, there were issues. You are right. So that's why we had stopped and hold the private sector real estate funding. And now, since if you are most aware that how the real estate companies are playing, listed companies are playing, or other companies are playing. FDI is also coming. So a bit of private sector real estate funding with a very, very sensitive kind of appraisal we will be starting with the larger groups without taking any risk on the company.
Okay, and Mr. Kulshreshtha, just talking about some financials, in the first half, your NIMs were around that 3% mark. Is this mark sustainable going ahead, or any target that you have for your NIM growth?
Yeah, I always believe that our NIM should be more than 3%. So we will be caring that NIM should always be around 3% and the spread should be around 2%.
And if you also can give us an target for your disbursements going forward, what is the kind of disbursement that you're looking over the next 5 years?
So last 2 years back, we had set a target of 1.5 lakh crores of the loan book, and we had already achieved around 1.44 lakhs in Q2. Very hopeful that we will be achieving more than 1.5 lakh crores by this year and by this fiscal. And for 2030, we had set a target of 3 lakh crores. And for this year, the target is 30% high in comparison with the last year, from 40,000 crores. So this year we are targeting around 50,000 crores. As you have seen that in first half yearly, we had already achieved the 50% of the mark.
Right. Okay, Sanjay, great to have you on ET Now today. Thank you so much for your time.
It's always pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, that's the HUDCO management, and what a stock it has been. 240 right now, 0.5% uptick. But if you take a more exaggerated or a long-term time frame, you will see the outperformance in the Nifty is still holding on and clinging on to the life highs. So that's a good sign, really. We're still holding out in the green and well in the green. Metals and autos, they are your leading sectors today. We'll take a very quick break, but lots more lined up on the other side.